Thousands of people have tried this challenge. Professional dancers needed dozens of attempts just to nail one single move. And every single one of them did it on one foot.
Jungkook disappeared for months, said nothing, gave no warning, and in 14 seconds he did it on 2 feet at the same time.
16 million people watched in a single day. The song's creator had a full mental breakdown in the comments.
An army around the world started realizing, this is not a regular dance video. This is Jungkook saying something without a single word leaving his mouth.
March 15, 2026. A regular afternoon in Seoul. Jungkook opened TikTok, recorded himself for 14 seconds, and just posted it. No long caption. No big announcement.
No countdown, no teaser.
Just one short video, one song, one moment. And within 1 hour, 3 million people had already watched it. This is not the first time Jungkook has gone viral on TikTok. He has done it over and over again, so many times that the word viral feels too small to describe what happens every time he shows up. But there was something different this time. Something behind those 14 seconds that made millions of people not just watch, but go quiet. Think. Feel something they could not quite put into words. And maybe, that was exactly the point. Because this is not just about a dance challenge. It is not about No's song. It is not about view counts or records. This is about Jungkook speaking not with his voice, not with lyrics, but with his body, with his energy, with the way he chose this moment out of all other moments to show back up. And if you pay just a little more attention, you will hear him loud and clear. Let's start from the beginning. From the song he chose. No Dollar is a Canadian rapper. His real name is Alexander Leon Gumukian. He is not a K-pop artist, not part of the same industry as Jungkook, not someone with an official collaboration history with BTS or HYBE. His song called 2 had been trending on TikTok for a while, with the main challenge centered on one specific move, a one-foot spin. That move alone had already overwhelmed thousands of people, had already made many professional dancers repeat it over and over before finally landing it. 1 foot. 1 spin. And the world was already going crazy. Jungkook did it on 2 feet at the same time. Not because he did not know it was harder. Not because he did not realize it was nearly impossible. Quite the opposite, he knew exactly what he was doing. And he did it with a smile, with a light step at the start of the video like he was casually walking to grab a snack, not like someone preparing a technique that even professional dancers fail multiple times before pulling off. That is what made 16 million people watch in under 24 hours. Not because of the number itself, but because they felt it directly, that something not normal was happening in this video. Fan account at archive4JK typed in full caps, "The footwork, my god." And that was not hyperbole. That was the natural human reaction to watching something that physically should not look that easy but was made to look completely routine. A fan who recorded a slow-motion version wrote that even slowed down, Jungkook's movement still felt fast. Think about that. When slow motion still feels fast, you are not watching a regular dance challenge. But let's talk about something beyond just technique. Jungkook wore a black tracksuit and a beanie in the video. Simple. No excessive styling, no dramatic lighting, no specially designed set. Just him, casual clothes, and a camera held or placed at an angle that, and this is what a lot of people missed, was completely intentional. The way he used space within the frame, the way he positioned himself so every movement reads at maximum clarity, the way he chose the angle that made the spin visible from the most impactful perspective, this was not luck. This is someone who understands the medium he is working in down to the smallest detail. Korean netizens reacted to this immediately. One tweet that went viral read, "Jungkook is in perfect condition to take the stage right now. He is flying." And the word flying here is not a metaphor used carelessly. In the context of K-pop and the dance world, someone is called flying when the energy they put out goes beyond what is physically visible, when there is something that cannot be explained just by watching their body move. Jungkook was flying. And everyone who watched could feel it. Now let's talk about No Dollar. Alexander Leon Gumukian, the man who made the song 2, is an artist who is fairly active on social media.
He regularly comments on videos of people using his songs. He has seen hundreds, maybe thousands of people do this challenge. He was used to his own reaction to his song getting coverage. But when Jungkook posted his video, something different happened to No Dollar.
He immediately wrote on Twitter, "BTS Jungkook danced to my song." That sentence was short. No long paragraph, no big elaboration. But it was exactly that simplicity that made people understand how massive this moment was for him. And then he went to the comments section of Jungkook's video and wrote, "There's literally no way, oh my god." Not as promotion. Not as a marketing strategy. But as a regular human being watching something that made him unable to believe his own eyes. The reaction from No Dollar then became its own viral moment. People spread screenshots of his comment, made threads about how genuine his reaction was, used it as proof that what Jungkook did in that video was objectively extraordinary, not just in the eyes of ARMY, but in the eyes of anyone watching with fairness. And TikTok Korea? The official TikTok Korea account released a statement that, even by social media platform standards, felt very unusual. They wrote that they were rolling out the red carpet to welcome Jungkook's first TikTok video of 2026. A platform, not fans, not media, but the platform itself acknowledged that the arrival of one person was an event. Not regular content. An event. But behind all those numbers and reactions, there is a bigger question. The question that makes this 14-second video feel much heavier than it should. Why now? Jungkook had not posted a TikTok dance in a long time. Early 2026 he was fairly quiet on the platform. And then suddenly, 5 days before Ararang dropped, he showed up. Not with an official teaser. Not with a press conference. Not with an exclusive interview. With a dance challenge. With 14 seconds. With a Canadian rapper's song that had no direct connection to BTS or HYBE or Ararang. Or maybe it did have a connection, just not the obvious one. Because if you pay attention, this is a pattern Jungkook has played out many times. Before every major moment in his career, there is a small appearance that feels organic, that feels unplanned, that feels spontaneous. But which then, looking back, always turned out to be a signal that something big was coming. Jungkook said nothing about Ararang in that video. Not one word about the comeback. But every bit of his energy, his physical condition, the way he moved in that video spoke louder than any press release could. I am ready. I am more than ready. And when I step on that stage, you will remember today. Fans picked up on this immediately. A fan from Brazil made a long thread that went viral, calling Jungkook the most multidimensional artist in the industry right now. They listed his tattoos, piercings, TikTok presence, otaku personality, romantic side, boxing skills, quiet but intense temperament. Not as a random list of attributes, but as an argument that Jungkook is a character who cannot be boxed into one definition. He is not just BTS's main vocalist. He is not just the golden magne. He is someone who keeps growing in directions no one can predict, and every time the world thinks they have figured out who Jungkook is, he shows up with something that makes every definition feel insufficient. And there was one comment that got retweeted the most that night. A comment that was simple but somehow hit harder than any analysis. If 2013 Jungkook could see 2026 Jungkook, he would not believe it. Think about that for a moment. In 2013, Jungkook was a 15-year-old trainee who had just joined BTS. A teenager still finding his voice, still learning to dance from scratch, still adapting to a heavy industry, massive expectations, and pressure that not even most adults could handle. He has said in various interviews that those early days were hard. That there were many moments of uncertainty. That he often wondered if he was good enough. And now, in 2026, he stands in front of a camera in a black tracksuit, pulls off a 2-foot spin that even professional dancers struggle with, and makes 16 million people watch in a single day. Not because he is trying to prove something. But precisely because he no longer needs to prove anything at all. And the difference between those two states, between someone who dances because they need to prove themselves and someone who dances because it is simply part of who they are, you can feel it in every single frame of that video. That is what makes this video more than just a dance challenge. There is another dimension worth talking about. the way Jungkook has chosen to show up in this era. BTS has been through a period that was not easy.
Military service, a long hiatus, a world that changed, an industry that changed, army waiting with a mix of hope and anxiety.
As BTS members returned one by one, there was a pressure that was invisible but felt by everyone. Would they still be the same? Would that energy still be there? Would they still be relevant in a world that moves this fast? Jungkook answered all of that in 14 seconds. Not with a press conference, not with a long statement about comeback vision and mission. But with his body. With the way he moved. With the way he picked a trending song, a challenge that was everywhere, and then executed it in a way that made everyone realize the level of play had shifted. That if this is what he does for a warm-up, then the Arirang World Tour is going to be something genuinely unlike anything that has ever existed before. There is something very Jungkook about all of this. He does not need to say much. He does not need a press conference. He does not need long explanations. He just needs to show up, just needs to move, and the world draws its own conclusions. And the conclusion that millions of people drew from those 14 seconds was the same: this person is not playing around. And maybe that is the most important thing to understand about Jungkook at this point in his career. He is no longer someone building his name. He is no longer someone who needs to steal attention. He is someone who just needs to appear, just needs to move, and the attention comes on its own, not because of hype, but because there is something real and unfakeable about the way he does absolutely everything he does. Windmill. 360-degree leg swipe. 2 feet. In 14 seconds. On a regular afternoon with a black tracksuit and a beanie, with no big staging or expensive production. And the world paused for a moment to watch. Because it was not just a dance challenge. That was Jungkook speaking. To the fans who had been waiting for him, to the industry that questioned his relevance, to the version of himself who once wondered if he was good enough. He was saying, I am here. I am better than I have ever been. And this is just the warm-up. 5 days until Arirang drops. 6 days until BTS takes the stage at Gwanghwamun Square, broadcast live to the entire world on Netflix. 12 days until the documentary BTS, The Return shows the world what happened behind the scenes of all of this. But before all of that, there is a 14-second video from March 15, 2026. There is a man in a black outfit who spun on 2 feet and made 16 million people forget to breathe for a second. There is no dollar writing "there's literally no way oh my god" in the comments. There is army from every corner of the world feeling the exact same thing at the exact same moment, that something big is coming. And Jungkook, without a single word, has already told all of us that he is ready. More than ready. He is flying.